All right, chapter 33. Wherefore, Job, I pray thee, hear my speeches, and hearken to all my words. Behold, now I have opened my mouth, my tongue hath spoken in my mouth. My words shall be of the uprightness of my heart, and my lips shall utter knowledge clearly. The Spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty hath given me life. If thou canst answer me, set thy words in order before me. Stand up. Verse 6. Behold, I am according to thy wish in God's stead. I also am formed out of the clay. So, what Elihu is saying here is, and I'm quoting the pulpit commentary, I am the antagonist for whom thou hast asked, ready to enter into controversy with thee instead of God. I am thine equal. A creature like thyself, I also am formed out of the clay. So he is going to represent God here. Okay. But he's a man. He's just a man. Behold, my terror shall not make thee afraid, neither shall my hand be heavy upon thee. So he doesn't have to live in, he doesn't have to cower in front of Elihu. Surely thou hast spoken in mine hearing, and I have heard the voice of thy words, saying, I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. Behold, he findeth occasions against me. He counteth me for his enemy. He putteth my feet in the stocks. He marketh all my paths. Behold, in this thou art not just. I will answer thee, that God is greater than man. Okay, we know that, but is Elihu just saying that might makes right? Because that's kind of a difficult position to defend, strictly ethically speaking. Why dost thou strive against him? For he giveth no account of any of his matters. Right? So Elihu is saying that that God does not reveal his mysteries. For God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. I didn't understand what he said there. It became clearer in the subsequent verses, which kind of makes me quoting the pulpit commentary here unnecessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. For God speaketh once, yea, twice. God has his own ways of speaking to man, which are not those that Job has been expecting. He speaks silently and secretly, not in thunders and lightnings, as at Sinai, not by extraordinary theophanies, but nevertheless quite as effectually. Yet man perceiveth it not. Man often does not recognize God's action in the silent teaching of his. In this silent teaching of his. Man wants something more startling, more sensational. In our Lord's time, the Jews demanded a sign from heaven, but no sign of the kind was given them. Job now did not understand that God, whom he called upon to answer him, was already speaking to him in various ways, by his judgments, by thoughts suggested inwardly to his heart, by the dreams and visions whereof he complained. I think that's really interesting to think about the subtle ways in which God can communicate to us. Things that we may even want to take credit for, like our innermost judgments and thoughts. Where do thoughts even come from? Let's see here. 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. These are great. This is some of the best, I don't want to say poetry, but for God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. That hits pretty hard. That slaps. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. He is chastened also with pain upon his bed, and the multitude of his bones with strong pain. So the pulpit commentary said, he is chastened also with pain upon his bed. God also speaks to men secretly and silently in another way. Through chastisements, he afflicts the strong man with a grievous sickness, causes him to take to his bed, racks him with pain there, and wrings the multitude of his bones with strong pain. But here again, his purpose is kind and loving. So God speaks to us through pain. So we're going to see what falls out from that. So that his life abhorreth bread, and his soul dainty meat. His flesh is consumed away, that it cannot be seen, and his bones that were not seen stick out. That sounds like this is Job, right? Yea, his soul draweth near unto the grave, and his life to the destroyers. If there be a messenger with him, an interpreter, one among 1,000, to shew unto man his uprightness. This is confusing to me, and I looked it up. The rest of this chapter, this is a big deal. I'm going to, again, quote the pulpit commentary. I think we want to think about why this is chapter 33 of the book of Job when you think about what happens in the rest of this chapter. All right, the pulpit commentary says, if there be a messenger with him, rather an angel, it is generally supposed that the angel of the covenant is meant, and that the whole passage is messianic, but much obscurity hangs over it. The Jews certainly understand it messianically, since they read it on the great day of atonement and use in their liturgies the prayers, raise up for us the righteous interpreter, say, I have found a ransom. Elihu's knowledge of an interpreter or mediator, one among 1,000, who should deliver the afflicted man from going down to the pit and find a ransom for him, is certainly very surprising, and we can scarcely imagine that he understood the full force of his words, but cannot be right to denude them of their natural signification. Elihu certainly did not mean to speak of himself as an angel interpreter, one among 1,000, and is not probable that he intends a reference to any merely human helper, to show unto man his uprightness, either to show to a man what it is right for him to do, or to indicate to a man in what true righteousness consists. So we've got a messianic. Elihu's interesting. He seems to have knowledge of things he shouldn't have knowledge of. This is deep. He's like, maybe he is sent from God as the counselor here in chapter 33. Verse 24, then he is gracious unto him, and saith, deliver him from going down to the pit. I have found a ransom. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his youth. He shall pray unto God, and he will be favorable unto him, and he shall see his face with joy, for he will render unto man his righteousness. He looketh upon men, and if any say, I have sinned and perverted that which was right, and it profited me not. He will deliver his soul from going into the pit, and his life shall see the light. Lo, all these things worketh God oftentimes with man, to bring back his soul from the pit, to be enlightened with the light of the living. Mark well, O Job, hearken unto me. Hold thy peace, and I will speak. If thou hast anything to say, answer me, speak, for I desire to justify thee. If not, hearken unto me, hold thy peace, and I shall teach thee wisdom.